Hello out there in cryptocurrency and welcome to the Hour of Power, or as it's been known as the Real Crypto Power Hour. Good morning, Alan. This is the final preview session for the Power Hour. If you guys are interested, please go check out my website where we do have registration available. If you try to log in, however, there's actually a major issue with one of my plugins, so that won't work. However, you won't miss out on anything. I'll be emailing everyone directly as I have a developer work on the login issue. But after that, there'll be more stuff. There'll be more stuff on the website while you're able to log in. So, all right, let's get to the markets. So John's asking, what's the news behind ETH's dump? Well, the news behind ETH's dump is that people want to sell Ethereum. To my knowledge, there's no news behind this particular dump. It's basically just a natural cycle and movement of the market. Oh, wow, that's quite a big dump. I'm on the 2-hour chart here. Yeah, just caving in, ladies and gentlemen, just caving in. Yeah, all I can say is that it's going to continue going lower, unfortunately. So 400 strong support, Aaron says. So 400 is going to be support. 420 is actually the all-time high prior to the breakout. Prior to the breakout, let's go take a look at that. So we've pretty much retraced all of this move, ladies and gentlemen. And to be quite frank with you, this is yet another reason why I am a strong believer in selling and not holding, because if you would have bought this at the all-time highs, most of your gains are basically wiped out. So there you go. So .com says crypto's dead. Crypto's not really dead. It is pausing. Crypto's not dead. It's basically pausing. All right. So I don't want you guys to FUD yourselves, because what's going to happen is you guys are at some point going to FUD yourselves into, leaving the marketplace or something like that. I don't recommend you do that. I recommend you be a thoughtful observer, taking trades at specific points. Other than that, basically learning, educating yourself, things of that nature. Did I disable stream rewind? For some reason I can't rewind the live stream. I did not, however. I just started RoboSurg TV. I just started the stream, so there's not necessarily a lot to rewind to. So I don't know if that's the case. Is it crazy for me to put my Litecoin money into ICX, Tron, or Neo? Crazy is kind of a strong word. So, yeah, they're going to have ridiculous bounces. I don't know. To me, a move like that is basically like just moving your money around from one disaster into another disaster. Okay, I think Litecoin is a good coin. And when it bounces, it tends to outperform Bitcoin on its bounces. At least it did in most recent history here. So I don't know if I would, if you still want to be in cryptos and hold in those. See, what you want to do is hold what's strong relative to Bitcoin. Okay, how do I think G20 is going to affect crypto? Not at all. Not at all. So Ravi says, cryptos do this every year. Nothing new. Hold your coins and buy more. So let me disprove that, Ravi. Let me go ahead and disprove that for you, buddy. People have been saying that ever since the decline. It's some kind of cycle in terms of time, in terms of time of the year. That is incorrect. What about, like, literally, what about this market cycle leads you anything to believe it's anything like this market cycle? Anything. It's nothing like this market cycle. It's a completely different market cycle. So again, I'm pointing you guys to my market cycles webinar if you guys want to kind of understand how the markets move, because this is not a cycle about, because everyone thought the crypto was going to come back around the Chinese New Year, right? Everyone thought everything was going to come back around the Chinese New Year. Well, that was about $2,500 ago. About $2,500 ago. Ethereum is built on ICOs. SEC is regulating the market, so ETH is going to get wrecked. So I think there's something about regulation and ICOs that is healthy for Ethereum. To be quite frank with you, I think if you get rid of a lot of the garbage ICOs that happen and want to run on the Ethereum network, I think it's going to free up some bandwidth for Ethereum. So the ones that really are valuable are actually going to be able to use the network. So I don't know if that's necessarily going to be bad for Ethereum. Oh, so it looks like we have a reformed hodler. Not that I'm advocating you reforming your hodling stance. I'm an advocate of you understanding your personality type and cutting losses when appropriate. So looks like we have I'm gonna mispronounce your name, Thwan. Thwan says, I'm done with hodling Lambos. Cut your losses short and don't hold in bear market. I agree. I definitely agree. So Vicky says, this is perfect time to buy Bitcoin for midterm or wait for 6,000. Is that a question? I think that's a question. Yeah, I would not be buying Bitcoin while it has a big red candle to the downside. Not my favorite thing here. So like I said, ladies and gentlemen, this is the last Real Crypto Power Hour kind of test phase, if you will, for this week. As of tomorrow, our Power Hour will be via our website, and you will get login information. It is a paid service. It's $50 per month for 30 live streaming sessions, which is a bargain if you ask me. Yeah, 30 live streaming sessions a month. If I have, if I do have enough interest from people in different time zones, because right now it's 9 to 10 Pacific time, which is Arizona time. If there's enough interest in other time zones, like I know there's some people in Australia that have shown interest, and definitely people in Europe that have shown interest. If you guys want to email me directly, randy@realcrypto.com. If there's enough interest, I'll do a second hour to the Power Hour, which will probably be at some, I don't know if it'll be 12 hours later. I haven't decided on that yet. And if you guys want to do that, let me know, and we can go ahead and make that happen. Will I still do regular free YouTube streams? If so, how often? I will do less. No, I don't think that's fair to the people that actually value the advice. If they're going to pay for a service and I'm going to do like daily streams, I don't think that's not really fair to them. I will do some free streams from time to time, like if the market's in a free fall or something like that. I do tend to jump on and do, and kind of go through the market and things like that. People have questions, I know, during those times. So I do like to jump on and help people out in that fashion. I'll still be doing that. I'll still be doing some regular videos, things of that nature. All right, again, Power Hour, we're looking for pointed questions, or if you guys have questions regarding trading, your strategy, things of that nature. More specific, the better. If you guys have an actual trade setup you're looking at, which I know is really hard right now. I know I'm getting to one here from, I think it's Christina has a DGD question. DGD on the one-day chart, it looked like a big cup and handle. Want to know if it can be stay on play because it broke down. Okay, DGD, let's take a peek. Cup and handle on the daily. I don't see a cup and handle. The only thing this can be a cup with handle right here, albeit it broke down from that cup with handle. This is what I call a first bounce. I don't get involved in first bounces. You want to wait for a confirmation move to the upside after a first bounce before you get in. Something like this little move over here, but if you notice, that was very short-lived. So I don't really see any cup with... Oh, I'm on the 15-minute. You said daily. I'm sorry. Okay, looking for a cup with handle here. Yeah, definitely a mouse-shaped cup with handle. Definitely does have some relative strength against Bitcoin, however. Yeah, no real discernible pattern at this time. It looks like there's a larger cup with handle at play here. This is the larger cup with handle. And then this so far looks to be a bit of a failed early breakout, coming back to the potential early buy point. So if you want to make some kind of a strategy, I don't know what your time frame is for holding, but If it gets down towards this trend line, you can see it's acted as support. So there's a big possibility, there's a big possibility that you could possibly get something out of it. But I'm not really bullish on this particular setup personally. Although you do have higher volume on the upside than the downside, so there's a potential for some profit. There's a potential there, but you're going to take on some risk for doing so. You're going to have to mitigate your risk via the percentage of your account. So right now you have an 8% to the break of the trend line. So the world is yours says total noob here, but Bitcoin will bounce back at some point, so why not hold? That's a great question. The world is yours. I'm assuming that's the world is yours. That's a good question. You can hold. You can definitely hold if you want to. If you're comfortable with Bitcoin, being much lower, we've seen targets. I mean, I know I have downside targets between 2,400 and 3,500. If you're okay with holding through that, then by all means go ahead and hold. But there's a lot of people that won't be able to handle that psychologically, and they're just going to sell at some point. They're just going to sell at some point. And what I really want for people to do is honestly ask themselves, am I truly going to hodl this through another 50%, decline? Maybe another 70% decline. Do you think we bounce from 6K to 7.7 and then final move to 3? If not, is it possible we don't stop now till 3K? Thanks. So that's a little too specific. To be quite frank with you, you're never going to, 6 to 7, if you could telegraph the moves like that, my friend, then you don't need me. You don't need anyone. You just need to place the trades, make the money, and never look at the charts again. So a bounce off 6K is likely for sure. A bounce off 6K is likely for sure. I don't know if we go straight down to 3K. We're not going to drop in one day down to 3,000. It's going to take several weeks for this to play out. I do have a timeline for that, for when it will play out. And it kind of lines up with this trend line, to be honest with you. Kind of. I do think at some point we break this trend line again. When, though, I have no idea. It could be a bounce off this 6,000 where we consolidate and go a little bit higher. A lot of people thought this rising wedge would actually resolve itself to the upside. I thought that was a possibility here while we were kind of rising here. I thought maybe we would break that and come up and test this 200-day. So far, proven not to be the case. So far, that is not proven to be the case. And we're just going lower from here. So thank you guys again for joining me in the last basically free Real Crypto Power Hour. This is designed to be a premium service for people that really want to dive into their trading, the markets, and really get some in-depth information, line up their strategies, figure out what they're going to do. If you guys are looking at specific trades, we talk about very specific trade setups. We talk about real-time trades. We talk about pretty much trading, but it's meant to be a very pointed hour that you guys can focus your energy, your questions, things of that nature within the Real Crypto Power Hour. That service will start tomorrow. We're going to do that 7 days a week, pretty much every day. I'm looking at crypto anyway, so why not talk with you guys? And there you go. That's the Real Crypto Power Hour. If you do want to sign up, go to real-crypto.com. I have to do it in an incognito browser. Go to real-crypto.com, select the Power Hour at the top, and then you're going to be able to go ahead and log in here. It's pretty important if you guys understand your trading style, and it's pretty also important that I understand how much experience you have while trading, because the longer you have trading with less success, it's going to be harder to break you guys of bad habits. So I'll probably ask you a lot more questions if you have a lot more experience, if you're having, limited success with trading. So I do just want to point out that these are very important things, and I do that for a reason, so I can get to know you a little bit as an individual and kind of gear my message towards you individually. So Mark says, in the paid power hour, will you go through all questions or skip some as you're doing now? I'm basically going to go through all questions because I have 252 people here right now, Mark. I'm not going to have 252 people in the power hour. So it is going to be very pointed. We're going to dive deep into questions. Guys, if we run longer than an hour in the power hour, I'm not really going to care that much. The whole point is to help you guys with your trading. That's what it's for. It's to help you guys with your trading because I get asked questions that are very broad, and I can see where the question is going, and a lot of times I don't have time to dive down into the questions to get to the root of the question, and the root of sometimes I see problems with questions, and most times I don't have time to get to the root of the problem of the question, if that makes sense. So I'm definitely a teacher at heart, and that's what the Power Hour is designed to do. It's designed to give you guys pretty much unfeathered access to me, and kind of like a big group mentorship session, if you will. And that's why I said if I do get a lot of participants, which I don't have too many right now, we're going to be able to keep it within 1 hour. But if you guys are in different time zones, I am willing to split up the power hour. We'll do 2 hours, one in the morning, one in the afternoon, or vice versa, depending on your time zone. And I do want people to be able to, participate live in the power hour. So we'll see how it goes. Let's see here. Where am I at here? I think I lost my spot. So Placid has a question about RSI versus price drops. They're not correlated versus percentage as far as I understand. I've never actually done that analysis, nor have I necessarily thought of that. So, I don't know. Let's check it out. I do have an RSI here. So, percentage drop in RSI, I don't think so. This is like a 50% drop in RSI from 60 to 30. It's obviously not a 50% drop from 11.4 to 73. This is on the daily. So yeah, I don't think percentage really applies to the RSI there. Interesting thought though. Maybe I'll do a little bit more research on that in some spare time. What do I think about ICX, the upcoming coin swap, etc.? Honestly, I don't know much about the ICX coin swap. This is the first I've heard of it. So just to be blatantly honest with you, this is real crypto. I have no idea. I have no idea. I will say this, that a lot of the times these coins do certain things to, number one, make them seem relevant again. Okay, because like once a coin goes through its swan phase, like here, let's go to my Binance charts. Like once a coin goes through its phase of I'm new and shiny, I'm a new shiny nickel. Some of them go through a big retracement once everyone forgets them, and then a lot of the coin's life is only in the marketplace. So they do pretty much whatever it takes to stay relevant. I'm not saying that's the specific case with ICX. However, I've seen that a lot within the cryptocurrency space because they can manipulate their platform however they deem necessary. So if their platform is just a cash grab, I'm not saying CND is, I just pulled it up here. But if these guys wanted to seem relevant again or get a big pump in their coin price so maybe they can sell some, then most definitely they're going to manipulate it. You've seen that a lot. John McAfee, all his stuff is all pump and dumps that he pumps and he dumps. So market manipulation is legal in cryptocurrencies. So don't get caught up in all this, BS with this, that, and the other thing. Really stick to the fundamentals of, is it a good network? Okay, is it a good network? So Michael says, I'll be holding right now. It sucks, but mentally strong. I'll see 16K again. There you go, Michael. As long as you're aware of your strategy and you know you're going to hold and not sell out if it hits like $4,000, $3,000, there you go. And to be quite frank with you, if I'm the only one asking you this question, I just saved you a shit ton of money. Because I don't see a lot of people in the marketplace challenging hodling. Like, to be quite frank with you, I think I'm the only person that, well, that I've seen. I'm the only person that I've seen ask hodlers, "Are you a real hodler?" Because man, you get some backlash. I've gotten some crazy backlash because I've challenged hodlers. I've challenged them, and I've had people on these live streams tell me, "Hey, well, actually, someone earlier today said, you know what? I'm done hodling. I'm gonna buy back lower." And I've had other people like you say, "Hey, you know what? I'm gonna hodl." So, more power to both of those individuals. The only thing that I want from you guys is honesty within yourselves. I need to do a video about that. Maybe that'll get me a bunch of views. Challenging hodlers. Challenging, 30,000 hodlers, and imagine that disaster of a comment thread. That should be fun. So Philoso asks, at what point would you start to get worried? How low would it need to go before you'd start to think any bounce back would not be possible? So I've been worried since here, about 17,000. I've been worried since about 17,000, maybe a little bit after. I've been worried since here. Okay, I've had bearish videos on my channel. I've had many more bearish videos than bullish videos on my channel. We did trade for some bounces every once in a while, but basically it's been all about bearish action. So I've been worried since here. All right, now it will bounce back. All right, keep that in mind. It will bounce back. I can't say it's not going to take, God, this is so funny, guys. Everyone is now parroting things I've been saying for months. I just saw a Node Investor yesterday, who's a buddy of mine who I've talked to, say yesterday that it may take years for the market to come back. I've been saying that for months. He told me we were going to go back to all-time highs in a couple of months. Not to put him on blast at all. He's a great technical analyst. But I think people get caught too much up in the bullishness and forget the overall market cycle. I think generally. And a lot of these YouTubers, these people, look, I'm not a god, okay? I'm not a multi-millionaire. Don't get it wrong. But when you understand the market cycles, it can let you understand that things go high and then they sell off and then they go low and then they go high again. The time frame is what's important. The time frame is what's important. So Theo says, will you still be posting YouTube videos about BTC charts? Yeah, I'll still be doing some YouTube postings for sure. Whoa, okay, I'm going down to the bottom. Apparently I got way caught up in a few questions. I'm going to go down towards the bottom. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have some nice specific questions, go ahead and repost them. I'm not skipping your questions on purpose. Should I liquidate my profitable uranium position to buy the capitulation in Bitcoin? Uranium, is that publicly traded? I don't think that would be publicly traded. Or is that some crypto that I'm not aware of? So Sweeney, should you liquidate your position to go back and buy the capitulation in Bitcoin? Well, that's up to you, my friend. That's up to you. I don't know how I can look at a uranium chart, but I think you should buy capitulation in Bitcoin for sure. So Jose asks, Bitcoin will go back, but Ethereum has a bigger risk as the price goes down and then SEC happens. Am I wrong? I don't think Ethereum has more inherent risk than Bitcoin, to be quite frank with you. Ethereum does have a risk in the fact that it is a network and its network needs to work correctly, or the only thing Bitcoin needs to do is exist and have people believe in it. That's pretty much the only thing. So in terms of SEC regulating, they're not regulating Ethereum from what I understand. They're regulating ICOs. They're regulating ICOs, and they're trying to stop people from getting scammed out of money because most ICOs are garbage. Is it a bad time to day trade, asks Amal. No, I think you can day trade, but you're not going to have a lot of opportunities to the long side. You're going to have more opportunities to the downside for sure. So Fuya says it's just FUD. All the YouTubers talking about big influx of institutional money coming in. Um, they're just trying to keep their channels alive, and I felt that pressure. I mean, I felt the pressure to keep your channel alive and keep things going. Um, a lot of people are going to leave the crypto space, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of the people here in this room may also leave the crypto space. I advise, if even if you pull your investments, you keep apprised of the crypto stuff, at least on a daily basis, especially because you are obviously interested in it. It will be back. It will bottom at some point, and you guys will only lose that battle when you completely leave the markets. So I think Ethereum will be back just fine. I think Ethereum is going to be a fantastic buy. Like, I was actually thinking about that, how low can Ethereum go as Litecoin just tanks, as Ethereum just tanks. Um, so here's the thing: we may be getting down to a point where we're going to have a nice capitulation point at some, let's go to the 15-minute chart. I don't know what we're looking at on a really short time frame here, but like if you look at CoinMarketCap, all these altcoins are just crashing. Bitcoin's only down 7%, Ethereum down 20, Neo 23. These are in like 20s now. NEM 21, which was the darling a few days ago, has since, given into the selling pressure. 24 for Nano. So you're seeing a lot of these coins take it on the chin. 20 for Icon. So I almost feel like we're getting to the point where we're going to need to have some kind of a bounce. Okay? It's almost feeling like that to me. How do you create a 200 moving average on Coinigy? Well, you go to this nice little indicator here. You type in moving average. Okay, you can use an exponential. There's different kinds of moving averages here. I use a standard moving average. You can experiment with exponentials. You can have a channel if you want to. You can have weighted, but I just do moving average. And then you click on that. It's going to pop up a moving average here, MA. You're going to click on the settings or format, I guess as they call it, and you're going to want to go to inputs and put 200 in the length. And I just do it based off of the close. I bought BTC at 9,800. Is it too late to cut my cost and have some gain if it goes down to 4K? You always have the choice to buy and sell, my friend. You always have the choice to buy and sell. Let's see what Bitcoin's doing right now. So Bitcoin just slowly breaking down. Guys, I asked you, not you individually, obviously, but if you guys watch my videos, I asked you a long time ago in several videos. And if you guys haven't seen those videos, you're probably not going to go back and watch them. My videos don't get a lot of, people don't want to watch old videos. And I've asked you guys a lot back then. Where's my thing? How are you going to deal Let me get to the chart. I asked you guys a long time ago, how are you going to deal with this market? Okay, with a very boring, bland sell-off. How are you going to deal with a very boring market? Well, ladies and gentlemen, the time has come for that boring market. Okay, we are in the boring market. Now, as you can see here, there's big spikes to the downside with some rebounds, right? But each high is lower than the last. Each low is lower than the last, okay? So if you kind of view this in terms of, I'm really viewing this like today's chart, guys. I mean, it's just rhyming more and more and more. And I could spend an hour on this chart. I'm not going to today, but there's a lot that this chart can tell you if you're willing to listen. What do you think about a big buy at 6,900 for a bounce that would correlate with the lows of this run up the last 6 months? Correlate with the lows of this run up the last 6,900? Wouldn't the lows be down here at 5,900? I'm not quite sure about that specifically. I don't mind you trading anything for a bounce as long as you have a rationale for buying, and you just aren't blindly buying a number. A lot of numbers get so like in this declining wedge pattern here, if you said I want to buy Bitcoin right here and trade it for a bounce, I'm okay with that. You know, as long as you well define your risk, you have a decent expectancy of a reward because it has some kind of a sound logic to it. But I didn't see 6,900 really anywhere in terms of any resistance. Please talk something practical like what can happen if stops are placed badly or don't get filled on exchange and how to avoid that. So the only way to stop like if your stop doesn't get filled, um, that sucks. That's happened to me before. If your stop doesn't get filled, the only thing you can do is reassess the trade when you see that your stop hasn't been filled. If you're there in the moment, the only thing you can do, um, is just sell immediately at a market buy. So the best thing you can do is do a market stop loss, especially if you know you're not going to be there while that happens. You can do a market stop loss, and if that doesn't get filled, you have a problem with your platform. In which case, that's really difficult to address. Should I buy top 10 alts now? Icon, Cardano are really low versus USD. I want to go long, specifically on ADA. Bob Bobakazov is asking. So ADA has been really badly hit lately. ADA has been one of those coins. So let's just go to the daily on ADA. ADA is in the middle of a range. I would not be buying ADA here. Most coins will pull back to a specific support and resistance point, and it's nowhere near any of those. Well, I guess there's a little bit. There's a little bit of there should be a little bit of support right here. I guess the volume. Okay, there we go. The volume kind of screwed me up. But yeah, so I guess we are kind of sitting here at a point of possible support, being these two wicks and these candles. So there's a possibility. It is down quite significantly. Let's go to, you said US dollar actually. Oh, it is super low. Doesn't mean it can't go lower, ladies and gentlemen. Doesn't mean it can't go lower. As you can see, we have negative 50 cents on my chart here. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Yeah, you know what? For like a really long term hold, you could start. Maybe you do level in a position here, although it can still go lower. Still, 12.5 cents. It can definitely go lower here. Mr. Cryptopia, thank you very much, sir, for your kind donation to the cause. Thank you. You're welcome. I always try to answer questions. Do I know the RVI indicator? No, I do not. Should you buy the top 10 altcoins? That's a tough one for me to say that. I mean, I don't like buying anything when the market is just selling off right now, especially when Bitcoin's in a bear market. Keep in mind, guys, this isn't a typical market. This is not a typical market. You guys, I have a feeling a lot of you don't understand the market cycle. I have a market cycles webinar, not to pump all my stuff, but I have a market cycles webinar because it's important. It's important to know the market cycle. And you guys also need to keep in mind, Bitcoin runs the market cycle. Bitcoin runs this thing wholeheartedly. You guys, that has been proven time and time again. So by buying altcoins, thinking that's going to help you because Bitcoin's falling is not extremely logical. Unless they're just extremely outperforming Bitcoin, that's a bit of a different issue. But nothing right now is outperforming Bitcoin. Do I think the Bitcoin halving in 2020 is going to have a positive impact on the price? I have no idea about that, to be quite frank with you. I would think that the miners just want to increase their hash rate before that halving takes place, and that's a question for miners. I mean, the Bitcoin price would probably increase if mass adoption occurs. It doesn't have anything to do with the mining itself. What's my Ethereum bottom prediction when Bitcoin touches 3K? I haven't actually made a prediction, nor have I put much thought into that, to be honest with you. No one thought Litecoin was going to get down to $100 when we were down here towards 6K, but Litecoin did get down and retouch $100. So these things can go higher and lower than you think they can. And it wouldn't surprise me if Ethereum gets back towards the 300 level. All right, going back down to the bottom again here, ladies and gentlemen. Going back down to the bottom here. So again, guys, this is the last Real Crypto Power Hour. Kind of the test bed for it this week. Starting tomorrow, we'll be doing live Power Hour with members. If you did want to sign up, you do need to go to my website to do so. You can go to realcrypto.com, click on the Power Hour. Click on the Power Hour here. And it is $50 per month, but we're doing a video every day, so you're getting 30 hours worth for whatever that is, $1.40 an hour or something like that. I don't think that's too bad. That's not what I wanted to show you. Am I logged in? I'm logged in, that's why. So yeah, but I also did want to mention that it's important that you guys understand what your trading style is, what your trading experience is. As day trader is just really quick day trades. Short-term trader is a little bit longer. Swing trader is trying to trade for the move, whether that be a couple of days, a couple of weeks, or a couple of months. Hodler is exactly what it says it is, and long-term investor is someone that doesn't consider themselves a hodler, but actually considers himself an investor. So Pratima asks, how come the Ether pairing for the altcoins is not falling as much as with BTC? Well, that's because most of the altcoins are falling more than Bitcoin. So Bitcoin's only down 7% over the past 24 hours. Most of these altcoins are down high double digits, high teen double digits, right? 19. So like if you pair Ethereum against Cardano, it's going to be flat, right? They're both down 19%. So that's the reason why. Is there any point when you would consider laddering in for a longer term hold? Yes, I would. Once Bitcoin is finally bottomed, has proven that, and is starting to move back up a little bit. You're never going to catch the absolute low in Bitcoin. I'm sorry to tell you that, ladies and gentlemen, but there is a point where Bitcoin is going to bottom, and there's a point where Bitcoin is going to go back into an uptrend. Wonder how many suicides you shorters will cause. Well, Robert, that's a pretty negative thing to say. Shorters don't cause anything. Shorters bring a little bit of balance to the marketplace, believe it or not. Just it's a function of efficient markets actually. Some shorters actually bring light. So if you take a VRX for instance, which is an old stock, there's some short. What am I trying to say here? Shorting isn't evil, okay? Shorting isn't evil. All right, so everyone sees a $70 bounce in Bitcoin and says Bitcoin's back up. Really? That's back up from what? These most extreme lows here, which were like $70 ago. So, Bitcoin was up here, Bitcoin was up here, Bitcoin was up here, Bitcoin was up right here, $1,200, $1,500 ago. Explain shorting to you in more detail, please. Yeah, so the literal mechanics behind shorting means that what happens is you take a Bitcoin, okay? You literally borrow a Bitcoin. You borrow the Bitcoin from someone. Say you borrow it from me. I give you a Bitcoin and it's at 10,000. So you give me $10,000. I give you a Bitcoin and you sell it on the open market. Okay? You sell it on the open market. Now, what you want to do is you want to buy it back around $7,400 so you can go ahead and make yourself $2,600. And then you're going to give me back my Bitcoin. That's what shorting actually is. That's what shorting actually is. Did that answer the question for you? Channel 909. Haven't seen you in a while, buddy. How you doing? Do I think Bitcoin will go lower than 6K? The analysis points to that. Johnny, the analysis points to us going lower than 6K. Bullish trend impossible for 2018? I don't think so. I think it's possible that later in 2018 we'll at least stop going down and maybe even start going up. Correct. Correct, Mr. Cryptopia. So you pocket that $10,000 when you buy Bitcoin or sell Bitcoin on the market, and then you're going to give the market, $7,400 when you buy it back, and you're going to pocket that difference. That's what shorting literally is. But someone has to facilitate that shorting. So someone's always taking the opposite side of a short, right? Now, BitMEX is a platform that they kind of do that as a business model, and I actually have a link below if you did want to check out BitMEX. But they do facilitate that, and I think GDAX does, and under some circumstances, so does Bitfinex. So depending on the platform you use, you'll have to see if shorting is something that you can look at. Take a look at Stellar. What is YSD for a moment? Let's go ahead and look at Stellar. I'm not sure what YSD means. US dollar? JD has asked, so in order to continue watching the Power Hour, it will be through membership, correct? So how will you broadcast it? I'm going to be sending out a link to all the members who can access the channel for that. So basically, for now, it's going to be on YouTube. I may do it through Hangouts. I want to see how YouTube goes with the members, but I may end up doing it on Hangouts because I want a little bit more real-time interactivity. But I think it's going to be on YouTube at least for the first week or so. But it'll be an unlisted stream is basically what it's going to be. Yeah, US dollar. I don't know if I can get US dollar XLM. Oh, there we go. I can get it on hit BTC. Maybe. Okay, I'm gonna have to go to go Stellar. Okay, so here it is against the dollar. So, Mr. Cryptopia, I'm broadcasting the same time between 9 and 10 Pacific time right now is when it's scheduled to be. If I have enough interest from people in different time zones, please email me, randy@realcrypto.com. And if there's enough interest, then I'll go ahead and I'll do a power hour in the afternoon, or whatever consensus really leads to be honest with you. I have to sleep at some point in time, so there's going to be some hours that won't be possible. But on either side of that, I'll definitely be willing to have power hour in the morning and in the afternoon possibly. So yeah, so here's looking at it, the channel 9009 against the USD. Yeah, it is much lower. It looks like it may continue going lower. Yes, sir, I am in Phoenix. Grant asks, when will the bottom be and why did this crash even happen? There wasn't any terrible news, just the Google banning spam ads. So Grant, looks like you're a new trader, and if you want to be educated in this space and start to understand why things happen, I don't have a better place to send you than my market cycles webinar, to be quite frank with you. I'll explain in a second, but guys, you can go to my webinars. Here's my market cycle webinar. It's $22. It's 2 hours and 45 minutes, guys. It's the cheapest thing on the web from what I've heard. And yeah, this will tell you why the market is doing what it's doing, okay? That's the reason why I have this up here, is because the market's doing something and you need to know why. This kind of tells you why, okay? Now, what it doesn't tell you is give you specific reasoning, and that's because no one knows the exact reasons. The reason why Bitcoin is doing, let me get to a daily chart again. The reason why Bitcoin is going through this whole thing is due to this massive parabolic run. Okay, there's a lot of market cycles end in real exuberant behavior called a parabolic run. That's what this is. If you know anything about math parabolas, it basically goes from a horizontal line and then goes up to a vertical line, and that's what parabolic moves do. And in the end, those usually culminate in bear markets. So most recently, it's nothing to do with news or FUD or anything like that. It's just a culmination of human herd psychology at work and people not willing to buy Bitcoin. That's pretty much what it is. So Tobias says, if we see a double bottom, don't you think people will think that the double bottom confirms the bottom of the bear market and thus shifting the sentiment? It's possible. It's possible. It may cause a bounce of some kind, but what's going to happen is the sentiment hasn't changed. The sentiment hasn't changed. In the end, you're going to have a couple people, they're going to tell their people, wait for the bounce, wait for the bounce. And you know what? They're probably going to have a good trade off that bounce. There may be a good trade off that bounce. But in the end, this market cycle does not look like it's abating. It looks like it's continuing. And what I mean by continuing is it will continue to go down. So, Mr. Cryptopia, will we be planning specific trades and executing them in the power group, looking for structure for my trading, as I am sure many of us are? That's actually kind of the reason for the power hour. If we do see some trades develop, we will go over the structure for those trades, proper stop losses, proper profit targeting, proper profit target areas. Why can't I say that? Yeah, so we will be going through all that. We will be going. If we run out of, because there's not going to be, but I'm thinking between 30 and 50 people in there. At the most. I don't think there's that many people that want to pay $50 for education and for mentorship, unfortunately. But I don't think we're going to have that many people. So we will walk through how to do a trade. If you guys, maybe we'll do a list of general questions, so if we're a little bit slow with specific trade ideas, we can walk through how to do certain things, how to short, how to go long, how to use margin properly, things of that nature. So I think that would be great. Will I be entering at 6K for a profit bounce? It depends if I'm awake, and it depends what the market looks like at that point in time. To be honest with you, I don't believe we get many bounces out of this market. I believe we will get a few, and I believe they will be probably on the terms of 10 to 20+% maybe, but I think in the end they're all going to go lower. Do you see next government action on your chart? Crypto now unpredictable. Government action does not show on a chart. Only buying and selling shows on a chart, and you get the general analysis, or I'm sorry, the general consensus of the herd investing community on the chart. You don't get government action on a chart. What are your thoughts on XRP from an investor's perspective, and can you take a look at it? Yeah, sure. Let's take a look at it. Again, guys, if I breeze over your question, I think you did ask that before, Ahmed. I apologize. If I skip over your thing, please go ahead and ask it again. Thank you, Martin. Thank you very much. Hey, man, I try to be honest. I mean, look, guys, I may not be 100% right all the time, but I'm always going to be honest with you, okay? I'm always going to be honest with you. I've been telling everyone to get out of the market since, 17,000, talking about talking about the top in Bitcoin. Unfortunately, I'm just a YouTuber. No one's gonna believe me until they get hurt. So I can't avoid, that's, I don't know. It really saddens me that people lost some money, but people have to learn the hard way sometimes. All right, so XRP from an investment perspective. So first of all, from an investment perspective, I'm assuming you're going to take a lot of the fundamentals into account. You're going to take a sizable position, and you may expect this thing to go up X% if you even have that type of strategy. Maybe you're only looking at it from a business perspective. From a business perspective, XRP is not being used, okay? Ripple, the company, right now is advising, well, they're not advising clients. Their clients are paying Ripple to set up their own Ripple blockchain on their own servers to trade their own coin back and forth in terms of a means of facilitating the network transfer. Now, XRP token, which is what this is going to be a second iteration, of their company where, like, say if a mom and pop shop or someone that can't afford to have their own blockchain set up, they will use XRP as a medium. So it's not being used yet. So this big pump actually happened due to news that they locked up their $60 billion float or whatever it was. I forget exactly. Okay, this was nothing less than that. Now, what we're seeing here is a lack of actual network usage, along with the general sell-off in the cryptocurrency markets. But the XRP token itself doesn't have any actual utilization usage yet, to my understanding. I don't know if there's anyone on that XRP network. I don't know if there is. I don't know if there is not. From my understanding, there's no one on it. Okay, they really haven't facilitated this network yet. Most of the big banks are having their own private networks built, so maybe this will be between local and regional banks. They'll use this XRP token. So from an investment perspective, you need to look into when stuff like that is going to happen. In terms of price, it's sitting down here at a level where it looks like it wants to go lower. So from that particular standpoint, I always have a hard time when you get these bottoms like this, because there's always a chance they double bottom. There's always a chance. Like, if you want to trade this, actually it looks like we've already gone below. Yeah, we've gone below that low, so never mind. Never mind. All right, I'll jump off that high horse right there about XRP. Christina, looks like Christina had a question. Randy, one question: how should you know for how long you have to stay in a trade? Most of the time I either jump out quickly and market keeps going up, or I stay for too long and it destroys me. Yeah, Christina, so man, trading is tough, okay? Trading is difficult. The best trade you can make is, this is the thing about trading. There's usually one or two entry points in a trade where you will be instantly profitable, and that is where you want to enter a trade. Okay, that's where you want to enter a trade. The rest of the trades are more inherently risky, and sometimes you really should pass on a trade if your buy point has been, if your buy point is gone. If your buy point flew past you and you weren't able to participate in the buy, you just have to, man, I missed that one, and move on to the next trade. You shouldn't force the trade in that particular coin. Reason being is because you have a lot more, possibility for shakeout. Now, I wanted to show you that. So in this bear market here in 2013, obviously not a lot of bullish trades are going to work, but some are. So if we, since we broke down from, this is the 200-day moving average in the purple. Since we broke down from that, and this is the kind of market cycle we're in. We're now living under the 200-day. I'm sure you guys have seen that video of mine. We broke under the 200-day, and as you can see, most of these bounces would be hard to get. They're deep. They bounce from really low and they go up and they never cross a prior high. They just continue lower, right? Like this one did have a little bit, this one did have a bit of a second run, but you were jaded a couple of times if you're trying to play these bounces. So I can't look in here in the intraday and, vis-a-vis volume here, this probably would have been a decent trade to get in on, but you would have had to take profits quickly. And even here, you're still under the 50-day. So here you get above the 50. This may be a trade you may actually want to take because there's a possible trend reversal with the 50-day. But you want to trade this at the one exact good entry point. And that's, in a bear market, really hard to ascertain. It's really hard to figure that out because it's a bear market. It's a bear market. It's like trying to figure out where to short Bitcoin on the way up. It's really hard. So this is why you want to trade with the market cycle. Okay, this is why you want to trade with the market cycle, because it's going to keep you out of these intermediate trades that are just going to kill your account. Now, on the way up, you have a few points that are like very perfect entry points off of wide bases. Here's one. Here's a very perfect entry right here. Okay, you could even consider, right here, but I think over here is a much better entry point. You have some of these kind of get chopped up into, but you can consider this a cup with handle. That's a pretty good entry point. But there's a lot of places up here where, if you miss this entry point, you may want to take this trade or this trade, and then it reverses against you hard, but then it continues. So there's very few points where it's perfect to get into a trade, and your job as a trader is to find those points, wait for those points, and buy those points. Is it a bullish sign of a chart is fiat, but its green candles require less volume per price movement than red candles of the same size? I think I know what you're saying there. It's more bullish when you have volume behind green candles, basically. If you have volume behind red candles more than volume behind green candles, that is not good action. Do you think the stock market has seen the parabolic move you were talking about yet? I don't know, to be quite frank with you. I think we're pretty extended in the stock market, but at the same time, the economy is very robust and very abundant. When you're talking about the stock market, you have to take more into consideration than just the charts, okay? You really do. And this is coming from a chart guy, all right? This is coming from a chart guy. You have to take other things into consideration. And then once you've formulated your macro opinion, you can use the charts to figure out a good time to buy and sell. So while I'll say this, if Trump gets really crazy with the tariffs, if he doesn't make good economic decisions, the stock market will act accordingly and more than likely sell off, thinking that he's a kook, which I actually think he is a kook, just to put my political views out there. And they will sell off because they're going to see, okay, maybe this guy isn't who we thought he was. Maybe his agenda isn't exactly what we thought it was. The stock market likes certainty. So, when a Republican comes in and does tax breaks, that's fantastic. But when a Republican comes in and starts changing the dynamic of global trade, I mean, that's really hard to figure out for a lot of traders and investors. So if he keeps an even keel from an economic standpoint, we'll probably be just fine. But if he just gets more crazy and more crazy, then I think it's, we probably are due for some kind of a pause at a minimum. But the economy's booming. Unemployment's at lows. So, we're good. I think we're okay. Okay, so Live Your Happiness says, in the Power Hour, it is possible to ask TA questions about other markets such as indices, FX. With prolonged bear market, it would be great to diversify trading and investing strategies. Yeah, of course. Yeah, we'll talk about all kinds of markets. I will say off the bat that Forex is not my favorite market to trade, to be quite frank with you. Although, kind of what I talked a little bit ago regarding the first trade being the best trade to get in. Man, if you can buy some of those really good chart patterns in Forex, I've done a little bit of looking around, but I don't follow it close enough to really catch those moves. If you can get in on some of those really good moves, then my goodness, man, you can just make a grip of money in Forex. So Glenn says, really enjoy your content. I've spread investment between Bitcoin and the platforms Ethereum, Neo. Do you think the latter will recover in 2018? Yeah, I think they'll recover some. I don't know how. I mean, it's hard to say how much they're going to recover. It really depends if Bitcoin comes back or if it languishes. Like I said, I've got a low target between 36 and 2400. It depends if Bitcoin languishes down there for a long time. It's hard to say. I think latter in 2018 is more likely for them to recover. Could you explain what to do when shorting a death cross versus price? So a death cross is actually what we're going to see here in the next couple of days, where the 50-day goes beneath the 200-day. That usually indicates the intermediate trend is falling underneath the longer-term trend, and we're in a bear market, which we already know we're in a bear market. But I don't know how to relate that versus shorting price. You're short. You should short when the market's higher, not when the market's lower. I'll just say that. So you don't short on the death cross. You don't short on the death cross. That's usually not a good thing. Pin that city. I'm not sure your question. I think that was probably a while ago. I'm going to go back down to the bottom again. We're coming to the end of the power hour here, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to finish off these questions. And then we'll get out of here. And I hope you guys sign up for the Real Crypto Power Hour. Let's go ahead and pump this once again. So I hope you guys join me for the Real Crypto Power Hour. We're going to do a lot more of this. Really pointed questions. Guys, I want you to be as successful as you can be. And if I can be a part of that, I would really like to help you guys on your journey. So please sign up for the Power Hour. We're going to do this every day, like I said, between 9 and 10 Pacific time. Let's get to some of these final questions here. Awesome answer. Did you experience the recession in 2007, 2008? Any experience you could share about it? I realized it had a catalyst, but could you see it in the charts? Actually, yes, Tobias, you could see it in the charts, and I actually sold off before the major market downside move. You could see it in the charts. And this is the thing about charting, ladies and gentlemen. You don't always know what's happening, but you know something's happening. Okay, when the markets start to act funky, then that indicates people are selling. Usually the markets will lead the news. Keep that in mind, ladies and gentlemen. You guys think I'm going to buy this and that based off of the news. Well, guess what? The people that know the news have money invested and are going to protect that money, and you see it in the charts. I'm an import and all comes into USA. Unfavored nation status, no tax, but they tax the hell out of U.S. product. Far from level field. I think I know what you're saying, Darren. All I'm saying is from a stock market perspective, whether in reality it's fair or not is a different issue. Obviously, nothing's fair in life. Very few things are fair, right? Life isn't fair. But I'm just talking about from a stock market perspective in terms of that. No, don't leave. Well, you know what, Yaron, I do have a life to live, and guys, I don't make money doing these streams. I can't stay here with you 24/7. That's why I'm doing the Power Hour. I've got to make a little bit of income. Guys, I give you guys just a tremendous amount of knowledge on my channel. If you don't realize that, I'm sorry, but I do give you guys a tremendous amount of knowledge, and I want to give more and more, to be quite frank with you, and I just can't. I can't do it for free. There's too much out there. Are trading bots good? Would you trust them? It depends on the trading bot, Jay. It really depends on the trading bot. If you're going to use a trading bot that you didn't write or you don't know a lot about, you better make a very small percentage of your portfolio put into that trading bot, because they can go crazy. If you're going to use a trading bot, open up a complete separate account and put a little bit in there. What do you think of IOTA? Very strong today. I don't think much of IOTA right now. I mean, the market's tanking. The market's tanking, so I don't know really what they're doing. Let's look at IOTA real quick. I haven't looked at IOTA in a while. Yeah, nothing crazy here. So Lee Anderson says, I pulled 80% of my retirement and put it in bonds, stock market going down soon. I would like to talk with you about that, Lee. I don't know if bonds are going to be a good place to... Hey, what's up, Lee? You are in Arizona. Very nice, my friend. I would like to talk with you about bonds, because maybe I'm misunderstanding something, but it's my understanding that the bond market's going to implode. So, I mean, interest rates are going to go up, and then you're going to have the asset underlying that bond go down, I believe. I'm not a bond expert. That's why I would like to chat with you. If you want to email, that's fine. Jason, thank you very much. Someone's going to join the power hour. The more the merrier. Bonds are going to crash as well, and housing, it's a triple header crash. Bitcoin and precious metals are all that will survive. I don't believe in that. The housing market's extremely strong. You have the millennials buying houses. I think the market's great. The housing market's not going to do anything. There's people now monitoring those types of cycles like we were back in 2007, 2008. So hey guys, hold on a second. I have one of my kids needing my attention. I will be back real quick. Technically the power hour's over, but I'm going to hang out for a little bit. So bear with me. I'll be right back. All right, thank you guys. Family's leaving for some family fun time at a local gymnasium, gymnastics place. They jump around, do fun stuff. So, all right, what was I talking about? Farin asked a good question. How do you manage your time between trading and family? Well, trading comes first, ladies and gentlemen. Trading comes before family, at least in cryptocurrency land. It does, unfortunately. It is kind of brutal. Um, I'm trying to figure out a better balance to that because, yeah, I'm just trying to find a better balance to that. I think the balance to trading and family is going by that first trading principle I was talking about earlier. If you can find a good trade and hold on to it, then you don't really need to spend a ton of time looking at the charts. Like if you shorted Bitcoin here and you're still shorting Bitcoin, you don't have to look at the charts very often. You set alerts as you go lower, and then you don't even have to look at the charts. To be honest with you, that's where I'm getting towards. I'm really leaning towards that trading style where, like I think I said in my last power hour. I just lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, like I said in my last power hour, someone asked me how accurate my predictions were, and I said I think they're over 75% accurate on the longer term time scale. And they've proven to be that. They've really proven to be, I think they're upwards of 80 plus percent. So, to be honest with you, ladies and gentlemen, sometimes I even don't trust myself. Okay? Trading is so risky that sometimes I don't even trust my own calls in terms of how I trade. So, everyone has their trading demons. That's one that I still have to get over. And, I'm really working towards that more and more. So, I'm holding a short position here. I'm just going to hold it. Just going to hold it until I see some capitulation moves. I've been looking at the charts a little less to try to keep perspective. Because if you guys are looking at the charts all the time, your head is going to get, I've had days in crypto where my head just felt so full like it was going to explode. And I'm like, I don't want to leave, but I have to leave the charts because it's so overwhelming, okay? It's so overwhelming. So, um, sorry guys, kind of dumped a little bit on you guys. That was a little bit more for me than for you. Bonds are the most boring asset in a bear market. I will buy put options and short auto stocks. There you go. Trade marbles for Pokemon cards. It sounds like a good trade, Jay. Should I trade my physical gold position for a BTC long-term hold? You know what? I wouldn't do that now, to be quite frank with you. I think I'm gonna stay online for like 15, 20 more minutes. You guys are asking some pretty good questions. Okay, I'm gonna pull up my trading software so I can pull up a gold chart. I think gold, last time I looked like it may want to move to the upside. So I don't know if you necessarily want to do that. Tarmo, hello, my good friend. I'm new in crypto. I haven't invested yet. Is it a good time to buy Bitcoin now or have your screen taken over by your stock charts? It is not a good time to buy now. I don't think you should buy now. I think you should wait until the market bottoms. I think you should hang out with the Real Crypto channel. To be quite frank with you, avoid those other losers because a lot of them are telling you guys to buy the dip and buy Bitcoin, and I just don't see it. I just don't see it in these charts. Just don't see it in the charts. But yeah, stick with me, and I will keep you at least real with you. Yeah, look at other guys. I'm not going to say that. That's stupid for me to say that. Yeah, look at everyone else, but always come back to Real Crypto for what's really happening. Okay, so here's the gold chart. Gold has actually, I call it a bat wing pattern. It's not really anything. It's basically kind of a reversal pattern. We have this rising channel thing going on here with these most recent highs. If gold can break over this 130 area or $1,300 as the case may be, then, you know, I think we're good. If we break down from here, I don't think gold's going to be going anywhere. But gold looks like it may want to rebound, albeit I don't like those two candles. But that is just the GLD. That's not actual gold itself. Trading software. I don't use a software. I have this platform. This is called Thinkorswim. It's from TD Ameritrade. It's free if you have an Ameritrade account, although you just have to search for it, Thinkorswim, and it'll come up with a download. I don't know if they have one for Mac, but they do have one for Windows. And it's really good trading software, but I do not trade on TD Ameritrade. So Andrew says, what's a good broker to trade with only 2K, or should I just save up till I have more to trade with? So here's the thing with stocks, okay? There's something that a lot of people don't tell you about stocks. If you have less than $25,000 to trade with, you cannot make more than, I think it's 4 day trades within a 5 rolling day period. It's a little confusing. So if you buy and sell within the same day, they consider that a day trade. All right, they consider that a day trade. And if you do that enough times, you will not be able to buy stocks for 30 days. They will warn you before you get there, but it's still a shocker to the system if you have less than $25,000. So that being said, you can get around that by having good trading strategies, buying at very good points. So is it 3 day trades? 3 day trades per 5 days? Yeah. Yeah, pattern day trading rule is what it's called. You're right, PDT. Yeah, that really threw me because by the time I knew that, I was like trying to cut my losses short, and then sometimes they ended up I would cut losses short, and then before I knew it, I'm like, I'm out of trades. So thanks for advice. I'm going to stick with you. I'm a new subscriber. I'm willing to invest 25% of my savings, but I'm scared because I'm earning minimum wage. So, Tarmo, if you're earning minimum wage, buddy, really the best thing you can do, I'm not sure how old you are, my friend, but the best thing you can do is invest in your own income and education and not worry about investments. To be quite frank and honest with you, Tarmo, I don't want to, lose someone, but I'd rather you be successful in your life than me make a whopping 1 cent off of you from watching my YouTube videos. If you're working minimum wage, my friend, get out of the trap. Get out of minimum wage. Avoid all debt. Don't have a car payment. Get rid of your car. If you have a car payment, buy a car cash. You do not want payments, my friend. If you're earning minimum wage, your job is to get your income up. That's all you want to do. My trading advice to you is to get your income up. That's my trading advice to you, okay? That's literally my trading advice. Find something that'll make you 20, 25 bucks an hour. Go become an electrician. Learn coding. Do something that interests you that you're not going to be completely bored or hate. But my friend, I'm here to tell you, I'm literally here to tell you that you're not going to be successful in trading until you have money that you don't care about and money that you can lose. And if you're making minimum wage, buddy, you can't lose anything. So there you go. That's my trading advice for you. Okay. What do you think about the potential death cross forming? So here's the thing about the death cross. It's already going to happen. Here's the death cross. The death cross is when the 50-period moving average, and it's funny, these are coming from completely opposing angles, almost 45 degrees in each direction. The death cross is when the 50-day moving average crosses underneath the 200-day moving average. That's going to happen. Nothing is going to stop that here. Okay? Nothing is going to stop that here. And yeah, it's just another sign that people are going to say, oh, the market's now in a downtrend. You're going to hear people say that. You're going to hear people say that. Oh, would pay me to be your financial advisor? You probably should. I'm a pretty damn good one, actually. I thought about going into financial advising, but to be honest with you guys, and someone asked me earlier, have you thought about starting a hedge fund or something like that? Or am I too sane for that? I actually would really like to start a hedge fund, and I really would like to be a financial advisor. I do enjoy money management. I do enjoy sound money management principles, sound investing principles in terms of, buying at a good point, selling at a good point. I think those are very viable investment strategies. And yeah, I really would like to do that. But I'm not great with going out, and I can't solicit money from people like that, Like if some guy were 20 million bucks said, hey, you want to, start a hedge fund? I'd be like, sure. But it's, yeah. Yeah, it's tough. Death cross, you can short it when price is crossing it as well. See on Google. So here's the thing. When the death cross happens, we'll probably be down towards 6,000 here. Would you rather have started your short when we crossed the 200-day moving average up here towards 9,000, or would you rather start your short at 6,000? Shorting is best done when no one thinks you should short. Period. And it's also very difficult to do that. It's also very difficult to do that because unless you've done it a few times with success, sometimes you don't even have the balls to do it. Sometimes you don't even have the balls to do it. Tarmo, you're 30, you earn minimum wage, but have managed to save 50K and willing to lose 10K. I've already paid off my own flat and do not have any debts. Tarmo, awesome, buddy. Why are you earning minimum wage then, my friend? The way to make the most money isn't through investing. It's through leveraging your income. All right, it's through leveraging your income. So, I hope you really love what you do. Maybe you're a teacher. Maybe you work with underprivileged people, and that really gives you some personal satisfaction. In that case, I don't have a lot of advice for you. I haven't lived that life, but cool. Sounds like you've done pretty good for yourself. So I would still I'd still try to get your income up. But in terms of investing, what you should do, my friend, you seem fairly disciplined to live on minimum wage, have a paid off flat and stuff like that. You seem disciplined. What I would do is I would wait. I would take that $10,000, give it to me, and I'll teach you how to trade. I'm just kidding. I'm not going to take your 10 grand. But no, you should learn about how to invest properly more than just willy-nilly taking a trade. For someone that's just starting out, I need to spend more time on my courses, guys, because my courses would really, first of all, spend 22 of that on my market cycles webinar. And if you're in, I think that's pounds, it's going to be less than $22. So take my market cycles webinar, and it will give you a good foundation for overall market cycles where you can, get in low, get out high, things of that nature. Okay, things of that nature. Start there, and then really get your really up your education game. Become a student of the markets. Find out, what investing style screams to you, hey, I'm going to do this or I'm going to do that. So there you go. Jay, if you want to do a Robinhood link, go ahead. That's fine. I don't have one, so. Should I tether all my ICX now? Troll asks. Let's see. Let's see ICX. So pretty much everything's down in the dumps right now, right? I think everyone wants to tether everything a little bit. Aviad, hey buddy, did you post before or did you just join me? I didn't see that. Yeah, ICX is not looking healthy. It looks like it's going to continue its down run. But, ladies and gentlemen, if Bitcoin is going to continue its down run, all these altcoins are going to continue their down run. That's so difficult. What's your opinion on, should you tether this? I need to answer your question. I'm uncomfortable answering it because, guys, when you're so far down like this, I really just want to wait for that bounce. The problem is the bounce never comes, right? The problem is the bounce never comes, and if it does, you think it's going back up. So I'm generally a fan of cutting losses. Aviat Extreme Stream. That's right. I haven't done one of those in a long time. Got a little lazy. Got a little bit lazy in terms of the extreme streams when the market's been bearish. But that's kind of what the power hour is for. Less of an extreme stream, but more of a very conscious stream. But yeah, I mean, depending on how far you're down on this ICX, I would probably tether it. I mean, sure, it can bounce. It probably will bounce now that I said that. But I'm a proponent in cutting your losses because otherwise they just lead to more losses. Do you think real estate market will crash if the stock market goes down? No, it will not. Jay, I think I said it was okay to post your link. Do you trade on one broker? I do not. I don't know. Oh, that's one of those copy services. Yeah, I don't do that. Avia, very poignant advice for someone just starting out. You've got to lose money first. No matter what, you will lose. I started with 100. Try to make it 200 just to see how you do. That's great advice, Aviad. That's, I preach the same thing. Trade with as little as you possibly can. Opinion on passive investing index funds. Do you have passive investments or you do active trading? I actually do active trading. In terms of index funds, my strategy, which I haven't been doing because I've been outperforming this particular strategy, so I stopped doing this strategy. I trade the triple NASDAQ funds. Not going to go too deep into that, but I think passive investing is fine. In the stock market, not in cryptocurrencies, they're just way too volatile, to be honest with you. Yeah. What was the last job you had and how long ago was that? So my last job actually was in December. That's my last job. I'm not a rich individual. I don't have a ton of money. I'm very good at calling the markets. I'm very good at helping people, but my own trading, I'll do excellent, and then I'll make a couple of just dumb trading decisions. I'm like, why did I even do that? So we all have our mental blocks to trading. One of them for me is the fact that I make some dumb trading errors. Keep in mind they're trading errors. They're not. Yeah, I overthink myself sometimes, and I definitely keep that conscious when I put content out to you guys because that's why I keep a larger term perspective of things because it's just easier to make better decisions that way. Dan, thank you for signing up to the Power Hour. You won't get any of my personal FUD in there, I'll tell you that. Will you ever do a face reveal? Actually, if you go to my Bitcoin, or my YouTube channel, my face is right there. My face is right there. I can do a I don't think it adds a lot to the stream, to be quite honest with you. Will the death cross? There's a question about the death cross. Sounds so bad, doesn't it? The death cross. The death cross. Okay, bells. I am happy with death crossbar, market starts, long-term investors must realize profits. Peter Thiel and others. The death cross, you should have realized profits long before a death cross occurs, in my opinion. Long before a death cross occurs. That to me is, people look for that, and that tells like all the smart money that all those people are fools. Yeah, there you go. When will you start putting content out on stock market channel, and will you ever do live stream there? I've done two videos on the live stream channel. 2 videos on the live stream channel, or the stock channel. 2 videos on the stock channel, and those will be long live streams. I may do a live stream there. You know, the platform can't even monetize it yet, so I'm just starting to get that going over there. You have to meet certain criteria to monetize, and I can't do that yet. What do you think about Vechain? I think Vechain's a pretty decent platform. I haven't dove too deep into it, but I think it's pretty decent. I think it's going to be an okay platform. All right, guys, going to get to these last questions, and I'm going to bounce. I do have a barbecue to get ready for later today. We're going to barbecue some ribs for like 3 to 4 to 5 hours, depending on how stuff, and it's going to be fun. So let's get to these last questions. Will we have a bear market summer and spend long time around 2K? Not sure, Jose. I think we'll spend some time between 2 and 3.5. We'll spend some time in that area. Maybe a little bit higher. We'll just have to wait and see. What's my market edge to outperform the average investor? My market edge is good chart reading, good market cycle understanding, and yeah, good chart reading. If you can read charts well and learn how to take profits, you're going to do pretty good. I FOMO'd into the market around January, lost a lot of money, but I'm still very bullish on my projects and crypto in general. Without the mistakes, I would have never learned so much. You know, there you go, Bobby Crypto. You know, life. Your entire life is based on making mistakes. I'm raising a 3, soon-to-be 4-year-old and a 7-year-old, and watching them make every mistake in the world and not listen to my advice is a very humbling experience. Sid's going to sign up for the Power Hour. Thank you, Sid. Look forward to seeing you there. You always have good questions, my friend. Jay, probably will. It probably will, Jay. I recommend it. By the way, Real Crypto is real sarcastic too, so you're probably not going to throw me for a loop with anything. Isn't it actually wiser to practice trading in NASDAQ or other stocks than crypto? Crypto moves so fast, the volatility makes stops, etc. hard. I love trading in the stock market. Sometimes trading in crypto drives me crazy, to be quite frank with you. Sometimes trading in crypto drives me crazy. But like I said, if you can get in on that first good trade, if you can get in on the first trade, then trading in any asset class is easy, okay? If you miss that first good trade, maybe there's a second one. Things get much more difficult. Stock trading is a little more sane than crypto for sure. You know, so like here's the stock market. But at the same time, it can be just as insane, right? The stock market can be just as insane. So I'm looking at Netflix here on the daily chart, right? So I bought Netflix off this little breakout pattern. It's not quite a cup with handle, but I bought Netflix right about here. Okay, you buy Netflix on the breakout, moves sideways a little bit, goes down a little bit, moves up, but then now we come to an area where we have high distribution, but we're still hanging high. So, you know, it's always a question of what do I do? You know, what do I do when I'm profitable? Do I take the profit here? Do I let it ride? You have a lot more time to think about the stock market, which, you know, is good, you can also sleep. What do I think about the G20 summit tomorrow? I think they're going to talk about stuff, and I think they're going to, do nothing based on talking about that stuff, and some of that stuff they're going to do. I don't have any opinion on the G20 summit, nor do I really care. I can't speak this year, so if I can't speak at the event, I'm not really interested. What do you think about I already answered that question. Is Bitcoin... I still think Bitcoin's going down to 2,000 or 3,000. I still think it is. I've said that. I've had that viewpoint now for... When did I do that analysis? A couple weeks ago, and that viewpoint hasn't changed. Are you short now? And yes, in what? I'm short Bitcoin. I'm short Bitcoin. Didn't the Death Star occur originally in December on Bitcoin, Randy? December? There's no moving average cross in December on anything, so no, it did not. I do not understand the difference between a wick and the top or bottom of a candle. All right, let's do some charting 101. Okay, so maybe, okay. So when you're looking at a candle, you have an open, you have whatever time series you're looking at. You have the open, which on a red candle is the top of the candle. So let's use this one because it's a little more pronounced. You have the top of the candles, your open. The high is the top of the wick. The low is the bottom of the wick, and the close is the bottom of this body in this red candle. In a green candle, the close is the top of the body and the open is the bottom of the body. But you still have the high range and the low range. The green indicates bullish, the red indicates bearish. That being said, Coinigy has settings that can mess with you big time. Where is it? Maybe it's not in here, but they have settings. Whoops. Percentage log scale. I've seen it in TradingView. I haven't looked at it in Coinigy, to be quite honest with you. Bar colors based on previous close. Click this. Let's see if anything changes when I click this. Nope, nothing changes. So, yeah, you want that checked, bar color previous day close. I think that's the best way to do it. But it's the open is the bottom of the green, the top of the red. The high is the high. The low is the low. And the close is the bottom of the red or the top of the green. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of the Real Crypto Power Hour and the last of the free sessions. Please go ahead and join me in the Real Power Hour, which will start tomorrow. Those of you that have signed up, I'm having a little bit of problem with the website that I'm working on. You will get emails individually in regards to the link of how to access the Power Hour. I please hope you guys will join me. I do enjoy the conversations, especially with new investors. I know it may seem a little intimidating investing $50 a month into some education services, but how much are you going to lose this month while trading crypto? I'm going to ask you. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me today. I will see you in the Power Hour or my next video. Thank you very much. I'll miss you guys if you're not there, and I will see you next time.